For Google Spreadsheets, we cannot use variables as we did in other spreadsheets where we could just store constant values in the variable. Variables can only be name ranges. So what I like to do usually is I will make an additional sheet to store in the names. I will usually give it a name such as variables or parameters, something like that, for instance, and give them the names that I need and the value. And then, for instance, in this case, we go to name ranges. The range B1 will be called DX. And once this is done, we can proceed as we did for other types of problems. So if I have my X coordinate here, hydraulic conductivity, and my value of head, and I can define my values as I did before. Now I will start with a single value of a hydraulic conductivity. You'll see that it won't really make a difference in our case because the iterative process is somewhat limited in Google Sheets. It goes to a certain point and it becomes very laborious to use it as is. So if I put my boundary conditions at 0 and at 1, I can put initial conditions if I want, although they will not have a huge impact on the final result. And then I can put my equation, so previous hydraulic conductivity times previous value of H plus next hydraulic conductivity times next value of H times dx over the sum of hydraulic conductivities, previous plus next. Okay, so for that much is good. And of course I get an error, and the error being circular dependency detected. So we will go to spreadsheet settings, calculation, allow iterations, 50, 100, 500, it doesn't really matter. Let's put it at 1000, see if it does make a difference, but I predict that it does not. And I paste the values. Now it's really difficult here to know exactly what we've accomplished, so let's start by creating a chart. Oops, apparently we lost the initial selection, and now we are going to include the chart. Let's make a line chart. That's good enough. That's all we need, and it doesn't appear to have a shape that is much like what we expect. So the 1000 iteration seems a little bit fabricated. It doesn't seem to really be doing that many iterations. You can see that as I modify values and function and force recalculations along the way, slowly but surely the curve goes towards its final goal. One thing we could do is also add a dummy operation times 0 times the next cell, right? The 3, I believe. And here we could put any value that we want because it's 0, so it doesn't make a difference, but in theory it should allow us to do a few more modifications that force an overall recalculation of the entire curve. But again, as you can see, it's definitely not doing 1,000 iterations every time that we make a change. So there are definite limitations in this respect. So the other methods that we're going to see later in the course will provide you with a better means of ensuring iterative processes in all kinds of spreadsheets.